You put your twins down to sleep and they pop right out of bed and they don't stay in the room. Ugh! How do you keep your twins in bed and get them to go to sleep? That's what we're talking about today. Hi, my name is Joe Rawlinson, the founder of dadsguidetotwins.com. I'm here to help you thrive as a father of twins. Today we're talking about how to keep your twins in bed. When I think about my own children, our first two boys that were not, they're singletons, not twins, they had a beautiful bedtime routine. We put them in bed, they just stay there and they go to sleep. We were like, yes! However, when our girls came along and we moved them from their cribs to their beds, they had different intentions altogether. We could not get them to stay in their beds. They wanted to play, bounce around, interact with each other, and it was often a very difficult time getting them down for bed. Does that sound familiar? Well, we were able to figure it out and get our girls to stay in bed. So I want to share with you today some of those things that worked for us to keep our twins in bed and get them to go to sleep. The most important thing that we found was to have a predictable bedtime routine. When your twins have a predictable routine, they know what to expect. Bath time, check. Brushing my teeth, check. Getting in my jammies, check. Bedtime story, check. Tuck me into bed, check. It becomes a very comfortable step-by-step process that gets them then relaxed, calmed down, and into bed. We found that when we followed the predictable routine for our twins, bedtime went a lot more smoothly, and they were significantly more likely to stay in bed. Then on other nights when maybe we had an evening activity or a visit to grandma, and that threw off the bedtime schedule, things were always crazy and nuts because we didn't follow their predictable routine. When your twins don't know what to expect, they're always going to be on hyper alert looking for what's the next thing that's going to happen because they don't know what to expect. When they know what to expect, it calms them down, it soothes them, and gets them ready for bed. So if you don't already have a predictable bedtime routine, make sure you start one now and stick to it tonight, tomorrow, the next day, over and over again. Perhaps your twins have an escape mindset. They want to get out of the bedroom every night after you put them into bed. So this is where some childproofing comes into play. You may consider trying to prevent them from leaving the room. Maybe they only want to leave the room so they can do something fun and exciting, but if they're trapped in their bedroom, they're more likely to stay in bed to just go to sleep because there's nothing else to do. One option may be a child gate across the door of your twins' bedroom that may keep them in there. I've even heard some parents who will double-decker gates to keep their twins in the room. Now make sure you check the instructions of your gate because not all of them are rated to be, standing on top of each other vertically. But that could be an option. Another thing to consider is to put a lock on your child's door, or there's a lock on the outside of the door, so you can just literally lock them into their bedroom. But be very careful with this because mischievous siblings may want to lock their other siblings in the bedroom. Another option is to put one of those child-proof knobs on the door on the inside so that they can't actually grip and open the door to escape. If your twins are struggling to go to sleep, they may need some sleep training. Perhaps you did sleep training when they were really young, when they were infants, and got them into a good nighttime routine. The same thing applies when they're toddlers and they're out of their cribs and they're in big boy beds or big girl beds and they want to escape and run around the house. You need to encourage the same sleep training methods you used when they were infants. Tuck them into bed, and if they escape, walk them back into bed, put them into bed, keep it boring, quiet, dark, and repeat that process over and over again so they know when they get out of bed there's nothing to do, there's nothing fun, they have no other option but to lay down and go to sleep. This may require that you stay in the room for a little bit, and slowly over time, night by night, you can ooch your way towards the door to ultimately you tuck them into bed and you just leave the bedroom and they stay put and they go to sleep. Remember that if there's noise coming out of your twins' bedroom after bedtime, you don't always have to intervene. Not everything is an emergency, not everything requires your attention. In fact, once you open that door and go back in there, it kind of resets the clock on bedtime. So oftentimes your twins will self-soothe and go to sleep over time. Another key to a good bedtime routine for your twins is to have no distractions in the bedroom. So if they're distracted by lights or toys or books, put that stuff away before bedtime so that their only option is to put their head on their pillow and go to sleep because it's that boring. They'd rather sleep than do nothing. Remember that as a parent, you have to teach your twins, you have to teach your children consequences, cause and effect. So maybe there's a punishment or a lost privilege if they don't keep their head on their pillow or they don't stay on their bed. Maybe they lose the use of a particular toy or a particular stuffed animal if they don't stay on their bed. If your twins are put down for bed at night and they just pop right out and they just do not seem to be tired to go to bed, consider their nap schedule if they're still taking naps. They may need to cut back on naps. Maybe they're getting too much sleep during the day, and so that's wanting to keep them up later at night. Make sure you talk to your pediatrician about what is the appropriate amount of sleep they should be getting, nap time versus daytime, based on your twins' age and maturity. When all else fails and your twins are not going to sleep every night when they should be, the key during the daytime is to wear them out. Make them burn all that energy during the day, playing outside, riding their bikes, going on walks, taking them to the playground, running around the house. The more you wear them out, the more likely they are going to be completely exhausted and want to just go to sleep at night. Of course, if you're wearing them out during the day, you're also going to want to go to sleep. And hey, that's just what we have to do as parents. The ultimate rule of getting your twins to stay in bed during the night is to be consistent. You set the rules, you set the pattern, you set the routine, and if you start to vary from that and change it every day, they're not going to know what to expect as the consequence or the reward or the punishment for staying in bed. And so you have to be consistent, and that does mean you're going to have to be patient, because it's going to take a while to maybe break some bad habits to get them back on the right track of staying in bed and going to sleep every night. So what's worked for you with your twins for helping them stay in bed once it's time for sleep? Go ahead and leave those in the comments below and share what's worked for you in your house. If you'd like additional tips and tricks on preparing for having and raising your twins, go ahead and check out some of these other videos and subscribe to the channel so you're always up to date with the latest tips to help you along your twin journey. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.